Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! Brought to you by Ringside, the best in boxing. It's the Zapata Brand Boxing Podcast. Introducing first, fighting out of the Zapata Brand Studio in Berwick, Pennsylvania. He is an expert in boxing and bagels, George Zapata!
Oh, hey, fight fans. Welcome to the Zapata Brand Podcast. This one is going to be a bit of a combat sports one. As always, we are brought to you by Ringside. Go to ringside.com/podcast, and you too could get upwards of 40% off selected brands. This is a new one for me. I am now branching out into all types of combat sports, and one of them is slap fighting. And from Power Slap, I have none other than the super heavyweight champion of the world, Lane, the Crazy Hawaiian Viernes. Lane, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just over here. We're about to get married, and I got moms in the kitchen, you know, kids outside in the swimming pool. We live in life over here, man. We live in life.
Where would that be? Are you in Missouri?
Yeah, I'm in Missouri right now. I'm actually in Rogersville, Missouri right now.
Mm-hmm.
Town right outside Springfield, Missouri. As you head to Kabul side, but we in the country, baby.
Yeah, country. It's very hot over there. It's well, there you go. Wow, it's still beautiful though. Might be hot, but it's still beautiful. I love the countryside. I love the countryside. I lived there myself. Now, Lane, real quickly, where are you originally from?
Nanakuli, Hawaii, all the way on the west side of Oahu. We from the west, baby. My mom is born and raised on the Nanakuli side. You know how we do over here, man. It's on and popping.
And I could tell very family oriented there. My wife currently was taught over there for 2 years over in Lanai, so I know the camaraderie you guys have there. So why did you decide to come to the States?
It's my beautiful fiance. Well, I actually met her in Vegas, but I was in a bad spot in my life. You know what I mean? I was really in a bad spot. You know, I was an addict of many things, and I just couldn't help myself, man. I was just indulging. I fell off the deep end, and when I got back up, my mom was there to say, "Hey, son, let's go ahead and rehabilitate yourself, make you a new man, because you're not on the islands no more. Because when you're on the islands, it's different. Life is a little different on the islands. Feel me? When you're on the islands, it's like fight or flight."
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't fight no more. You know what I mean? I was doing too much fighting, in fact. And some of the things I was doing, I wasn't proud of. So I decided to leave Hawaii, which I love truly. You know, it's in my heart. I'll never not be who I am. You know what I mean? Because of where I'm from. But I came to Vegas and I met my fiance. She was already on the way out. She lived in Vegas for her whole life. So when I met her, she was already on the way out. So I decided, you know what? Let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's travel. So we drove all the way from Vegas to Springfield, Missouri, and it was a trip. It was a trip, man.
Okay, so you had did you have family in Missouri at all?
No. I
just got up and left.
got up and left.
Wow.
I was so new to the States that I just wanted to experience it, man. Being on an island your whole life, it just makes you feel caged like a caged animal. And down the street for us, you can walk down the street. Down the street over here, you got to drive half hour. So it's different. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was okay with it.
Did you? Was it a little bit of a culture shock coming here to the States? Because it is definitely different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I had to really kind of rehone how I talk because I was kind of tired of people saying, "What? What did you say? What were you talking? What was that you said?" And I tired of getting to have to explain myself. So I started working on how I talk as soon as I got to the mainland, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you howling now, you talk like them," and I'm like, "Bro, you have no idea. Bring on Hawaii next to me. My picture come out right away." And
Right, right. And that's usually how it goes. So when you
yeah,
got here, now you did construction, you did other types of jobs to get
yeah.
here. What led you to slap fighting?
So I actually was watching it on YouTube. I'm watching it on YouTube, and I told my fiance, I was like, "Look at this. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Why would people do this?" And then I started watching somebody named Dumpling, Vasily
Mhm.
Kamatsky. I started watching him, and he was my size. You know what I mean? He's my category. He's a bully. And he was going up against all kinds of smaller guys, like 120 pound guys, like barely 100 pounds. And he was like 400 pounds. So um, at the time, I said, you know what? I want to do it. I want to bully the bully. I want to meet him one day and do this. So the whole time that I started doing it, um, I was focused on Vasily.
Now, obviously, we're going to get to him in a little bit, but you got Hawaiians and Samoans. You guys are built a little different. I mean,
Yeah.
you're built differently. Some of my friends that I know in a boxing game are Samoan, and they're from Hawaii too. Different kind of strength there. So I think you would excel in something like this. But when you first started in a slap fighting, you were in a different league. You were in a totally different league where before Dana White got into power slap. So how did you make your way through to that? Because it wasn't really. I never heard of it until again I saw power slap. That was the first time I saw. I mean, I saw it on YouTube and that it's mainly over in Russia and places like that. But I first saw this, I said, "Holy cow! These guys are whacking each other." How
Yeah.
did you? What league did you start in before you got to power slap?
So I started here. Actually, I was working construction on my
Mhm.
lunch break, and I was already a consumer of the YouTube videos. So
Mhm.
when I saw this ad, it said, you think you can slap?" I clicked on the ad. It said, "Is there's a slap fight here at this so and so bar at Branson, Missouri?" I looked
At a
up. I
bar?
was in Mis- I was in Missouri, so I looked up where Branson was, 40 minutes away, and I called my fiance. I said, "Hey, let's go." So she
Okay.
said, "Let's go," and we started. And so the league was Slap Fight Championships, ran by JT Tilley, and I did five bouts with them. I was 5-0. Every one of them were a knockout. Um, but I was not paid.
You
So
weren't paid.
I was not paid, and I could not
Oh.
get any money out of this dude. So what I did was, I said, fuck you. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I went and I searched out another league, and I found Stone Face Championships. That was they hosted Vasily in Russia. The dude
Okay.
actually moved here to California, and he started his own league here. He brought a few Russians, so I made my way. I paid my own flight to go to this event. You know what I mean, and showed up, beat the champion, and I was stripped of my title because I was the first ever champion of the sport in the U.S. I was stripped of my title, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make my own promotion one day. But in that timeline of me almost, getting to my own promotion, I went to Stone Faces, I went to Slap Strike, I went to Chin Check Slap Down, I went to Cactus Slap. I went to every single promotion in the US that had something to do with a slap fight. And I took every one of them that had rules. I made my own rules. I changed around my rules, and once ever I came out, I was actually the writing all the rules for every single promotion that was to do with slap. I wanted to come in and use my name to create a sport. And I went and I wined and dined commissioners in different states. I got to do um and this was before anybody was doing any of it now from Power Slap. This was the COVID years. Um, it was hard. I did all the promotions, and then you know what? I decided to open up my own promotion, find investors, find events, concerts that I can slide in that I know promoters for too, and that was my breakout period. I brought my brother on. I brought people from Hawaii. We put on shows everywhere: El Paso, Texas, Florida, Cali, New York, Columbus, Ohio, all these states, and I was doing it on my own. I was just leading the charge, and then I got hit up by this guy, um, Dana White's people, and
Was it Fred?
no, I actually it was um, Gary
Okay.
DeFranco, Gary
Yep.
DeFranco, and he kind of talked me into helping them create the sport. So I gave them my rules. I gave them what I was paying people. I gave them my roster, and I just let it all loose. I let the sport be the sport. What it is and what it is now is because I led the charge, and I was on my way out. I was about to retire from the sport and never
Right.
do it again, and just be a promoter and a recruiter. But my brother, he got suspended, and they got me. The money was right, so they got me. They got me to come back into the sport. I was still thinking my brother was going to be the champ, but God's got different plans, and I'm the current champ. I just defended my belt, and we're going to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and this is interesting. You said how you were a pioneer. I believe you're a pioneer of the sport. You came in, you did this all on your own, essentially laid the groundwork or whatever. How important was it for a guy like Dana White to come in, enjoy the sport, and take your take? Because I would assume it was pretty hard money wise in the beginning
Oh, yeah.
there. Now he essentially is giving you the keys to a kingdom and says, "Hey, here's a blank check. We're going to help you out here." How important was Dana White and his company to come behind you?
It was the goal from the beginning. When I
Mhm.
told my brother we're doing, and he's gonna want. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling. And I told my brother, I said, "We're doing this for us, bro. One day we're gonna have so much money, we're not gonna know what to do with it. People are gonna think we're the dumbest people in the world, but we're gonna live life until God take us away." And that was just what I believed in, man. I really believed it. No one told me that he was gonna call. No one told me that this was gonna happen. I just knew. I knew. I told my brother, I said, "Watch Dana White call me one day," and I told my mom that. I told my whole family that. Just to like speak it into existence, and sure enough, it happened.
Now you said Dana White. Now was Dana involved in slap fighting before or no? Had he got power
No,
slap?
I, I, I
Really?
just I just felt like if there was one person to take this sport and never give up on it, the way I never gave up on it, it was Dana White. And I just spoke that into existence. I told my brother, I told my dad and my mom, I said, "This guy gonna call me one day. Trust and believe what I'm doing. It's only gonna be stupid for a man in his stature, in his caliber, that's gonna make this sport a sport and not a spectacle and not a just a laughing stock of combat sports, because it truly is the war of the wills. Like, you gotta get up there, you gotta face the fucking music. You can't run away from it. You gotta face it. In boxing you can bob and weave. You got defense. The defense, you just gotta face it. That's all to it. And I think that's the drawing point of the sport right there.
Now, what you just said was extremely powerful, and I say that because there are many people who come from backgrounds like you have, and that's no knock. Everyone makes mistakes. I've been in situations where I have, but to go to where you were from, to come all the way across to the United States, to work into existence a sport that was non-existent in a sport realm, and then to have the biggest guy in this space come to you, that's a message itself to people who are going through whatever they're going through. To say, hey, there is a plan for you. Whether it's God has a plan for you, whoever your God is has a plan for you. You're living proof right here, and that's something that I think people who are watching this and my audience, and either from their kids that are struggling or whatever, this is the perfect story for that. And is this something that you ever thought that would be? Hey, man, I'm on the top of this mountain here. I can really transfer this into other people's lives.
Yeah, I always have a saying with my wife. We're at the tippy top, and Dr. Disrespect can. This is one of his sayings. We're at the tippy top, and we're just getting started.
well, well, let's see. Let's transition a little bit into your power slap heavyweight champion here. Now for context, what is your weight?
Right now, I'm at a comfortable 400. I fluctuate for 400, 410, but I'm living proof that if you're made for something, you're truly made for something. And I can let out the cat out the bag right now. I've only trained for one of my 17 slap fights that I've done. I've only ever trained for one. The other ones, I wasn't really training. I had boxing equipment in my. I love boxing. Boxing is an art to me, and I
Mhm.
respect it in that way. I had a boxing match recently that I was pretty much told not to do. So um, we here now at the top of the slap game. Um, I'm coming off the couch, man, for 400 pounds, and I'm just enjoying my life. My wife's making me very happy, but I know what I have to do. I hired some video people, so I'm gonna defend my belt a few more times and document my weight loss all the way down to 100 to heavyweight, and I'm gonna retire there and take my health and run with it. Because I got kids that I need to be here for. So I
Right.
know that 400 pounds is not healthy. And
Mhm.
literally coming off the couch, I'm 100% full time dad um, every day of my life, unless I'm doing some other promotion somewhere. My fiance and my sisters are holding it down. It's it's another vision and a dream of mine, and I'm trying to shoot for Netflix or HBO. The document of my weight loss and
Mhm.
inside and outside of the sport, and I'm trying to put it on the big screen.
Okay, a couple things you said there stuck out, and I want to go over it with you. Number one, your weight, and that was a concern of yours. Um, your training. So your weight and your training. Do you feel the heavier you are, the more powerful you are, or when you say training, is there any cardiovascular involved in that at all?
I do love the speed bag, and after I can do 15, 20 rounds straight of the speed bag and dancing with it, putting on my music. And if you know how to work that speed bag, that ain't no
Mhm.
joke. You know what I mean? That ain't no joke. So a big 400 pounder like me, I'll smoke, put on music, and I'll stay out there for I'll turn on my boxing timer, and I do 3 minute rounds. So I can do like 10 right now without any hesitation, and that's what I do for fun. But any cardiovascular, I'm not. I'm right off the couch. The only fight that I really trained for is the fight that I got my belt. That was against another fellow Polynesian, a Tongan.
Yeah.
Um, so I knew this guy previously, so I know the lineage he comes from and the family he comes from, and they're all a bunch of beasts. So when I was told that was my guy that I needed to go up against, I did not take him lightly. I did drop about 50 pounds.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, and then you can tell because I pretty much gained all the weight back from the 9 months that I was out.
Hmm.
Um, and I really was kind of upset that I wasn't defending my belt in 9 months.
Right.
So, I came off the couch and I did what I did. But Vasily is probably my next matchup, the way that they're talking about it. So I'm going to get ready for that.
And the other part of my question would be, health wise, would be when you talk to regular people who have not watched the sport as much. I reached out to Frank, who's the president of Power Slap, and he sent me a pretty extensive research that you guys have done. Now, granted, slap fighting, Power Slap is very, very young. So the statistics he had here were actually better than boxing,
100%.
considering it's smaller. You guys have most hand injuries, number one, but 100% of precautionary head CT scans results were negative. Now, it is a short period of time, so you have to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Does this getting, and if you go to any doctor, Frank did go to a bunch of doctors, and they were all like, "Hey, if there was a way, you guys are doing it the right way." But he doesn't like anybody getting hit. No doctor likes anybody getting hit in the head. Right. Does this down the road does that ever concern you? Because it's not now. You're not going to get hit one time, smack, get up, and 2 + 2 is 12. This is a long-term thing. And does that ever worry you at all?
I don't know. You know what is? It's funny because I used to tell people when I was young, and I almost believe it. Still, I used to tell people when I was a kid that I'm only gonna live so long. So I'm basically that in the back of my mind. I'm shooting for the stars. I don't care the outcome. I really don't care about if my health goes left or right, whatever God has planned. And I've really been letting God just take the wheel, with it. I'm fully healthy. Besides some dentist work that I gotta get done, but I really don't. I've been playing football. I've been boxing and sparring every week, and I get more fucked up when I box, man, to be honest, because I'm a tank. I stand in the middle of the ring. Sometimes I go on the lead and teach some guys, but really, really, man, I would love to drop the weight, go into celebrity boxing. If my celebrity status keeps going up there, I do want to jump into some boxing and dabble in the cash money bag and boxing that I know is there. So I'm really taking it lightly if you think about it. And I was telling my brother, like, man, imagine if I started lifting weights or some shit. You know what I mean? It would be crazy. It would be unfair. But Vasily's light a fire under me. I quit drinking soda. I quit. I'm
poison. That's
bro.
poison.
Yeah, man. I'm addicted personality. So like I was drinking soda, man. That's what I gained all that weight from. Just staying home, drinking soda pop, and eating whatever with the kids. And really, my dad wasn't there when I was young. So I'm spending time with my kids, the unhealthy way, obviously, but we still get out there, we still get outside, we still, swim, ride dirt bikes, do the outside stuff. We're not just inside playing video games and all that stuff. We're outside. And I'm a Hawaiian and we love to grind, we love to pound food. So when I grew up, better finish all your food. And that's never truer right now. Like I pretty much finished all my food. So nutrition wise, when I do drop the weight, it's me watching what I eat, and I know I have the willpower for it. After defending my belt and I'm not getting the KO finish, obviously coming off the couch on a 9-month, just chilling at home, waiting for the call. I got out there, did my thing, defended my belt, but Vasily is on my mind. He lives in my head rent free right now.
Well, Elaine, let me push back a little bit on you. Yeah. Do you feel like you're shortchanging yourself a little bit?
Maybe, bro. Honestly, I really get
honestly, I'd like to see you and we'll talk about Dumpling here, signing with Power Slap here shortly. But I'd like to see you in a boxing ring. I honestly would. I think you could make a significant amount of money. You got the personality that goes with boxing, and you're different. You're just different. You're a loud personality with a big heart and very likable. I could see just talking to you, you're a likable guy. That I think goes a long way in the boxing world. And because right now you're dominating Power Slap.
Yeah.
So I think if you did you ever think of, man, maybe I'm cheating myself a little bit, and now that Dumpling has signed with Power Slap, and that fight looks like, the guy who got you, he's a legend in the sport. A guy who got you into this, who now turned his attention to you. You've turned your attention to him because you're at the top of the mountain. Although he's a legend, you're at the top. It's easier to be the one chasing that guy, which you are. He's chasing you now because you're at the top, than the one at the top. That's why I push back a little bit and say, maybe this is something, conditioning wise, you ought to be a little bit more serious about. And is this something that you're going to take a little more serious?
Yeah, absolutely. Out of everything, I love being a dad, and sitting down, looking at my kids in the eyes, having a conversation. I could have a conversation with my kids all day and show them love, but daddy gotta be a little bit selfish, and I gotta go hone in on my craft because that's what it is. I know what I have to do. I just gotta go do it. I know when it's happening, man. I got my mom here. We're about to get married, and my mom's here. So I'm eating whatever right now, bro. I'm eating whatever. So whenever mom go back home, I'm hitting the ground and I'm taking it serious. Probably the most serious I've ever taken anything in my life. I'm going back to the boxing gym because right now I train right outside my house. Everything in my garage. I got everything I need in my garage, but no one to push me. So I'm going back to the boxing gym. I got me a strength and conditioning coach, and I'm reaching out to my good buddy. He's a nutritionist. So we are taking this serious. You're gonna see the best version of me, of any of my slap fights that I've ever been in, or slap bouts. And I'm gonna shock the world.
One thing I noticed about you when I was watching you, you either slap with your left or your right. Either one. Is there a reason why you switch or no?
So, to tell you the honest truth, I'm way more comfortable with my left than I am with my right, but I'm right-handed. I grew up. My dad was a musician, and he didn't want to teach me how to do anything but he'd be his road dog to carry his musicians or his instruments. So I had to teach myself when I was growing up, man. I was getting my butt whooped in Hawaii, bro. And I was literally teaching myself. I had to mirror other people. So I started off, boxing southpaw because I was trying to mirror people. And I didn't realize my dominant hand was in the front and it's supposed to be in the back. So when I got older, I went to a boxing gym and a dude was like, "Are you right? Are you left-handed? That's cool." And I was like, "No, I'm right-handed." He was like, "Why are you boxing southpaw?" And I was like, "I'm just comfortable like that. That's how I've been fighting my whole life." Then he teaches me how to go unorthodox. So whenever I got to like 15, 16, I was fluent in southpaw boxing. You know what I mean? So I now I whatever ambidextrous. So I learned how to use my left early in my life, and my right I've always been dominant with, and I pretty much can do what I can do with my left with my right.
So when you have to switch, when you have to pick your striking hand, is there any strategy to say, well, I hit him with my right, I'm gonna come over here with the left, or no? It's just whatever you feel at the time.
Yeah, there is a strategy, but sometimes I'm rocking with just one hand, but I can go with either one, man. I've knockout power in both. But I believe in my speed. If my speed it gets any better, which it can be, and it will be,
Mhm.
I'm all coming off the couch, and my log of an arm hitting somebody as fast as I hit them now. Imagine, once ever I get done training for a couple months, and I'm gonna put myself to it because this is the man. I'm not gonna take nobody lightly from here on out, and I am gonna drop. I only have a few more fights left on my contract, and I'm ready to start dropping weight and feeling a lot better health wise, and owing it to my kids and to my wife to be here in the long run.
And that, that's important. And I when we first started off the air beforehand, I saw the love you have for your children, the love you have for your mother and your fiance, and that sticks out to me. Although fighting and boxing and stuff, it's a man sport. The love that you have for your children, the love you have for your fiance and your mother, and that's very important. And it shows the kind of person you are. That you could be a mean dude because you're the meanest dude I know in that power slap, but you're also have one of the biggest hearts I've seen in someone like that. And you know what? Most Hawaiians that I've ever met that way. And
Absolutely.
that's a testament to you and your mother and how she's raised you. And I think that's very important to be noted. Um, Before I go, is Dumpling now? Is that going to be 100% your next fight? Has that signed?
I have a good intuition about things, and I've been asked about it by Charlie and people in the power slap. So I feel like somebody's pulling the shots. Obviously, it's Dana White, but
Right,
somebody's pulling the shots, and I'm getting asked too much about this guy. You
right.
know, so I've come to my own conclusion that if this guy is not my next opponent, they will be selling themselves short.
Yeah, and a crazy Hawaiian who gets himself in that kind of shape is going to be a dangerous dude because I
Man.
know, and before we end, I'm gonna have you commentate one thing for me. But before I go, I've got two other questions for you. Number one, what's your relationship like with Dana White?
We have a kind of a distant one because I'm more so of a high buy with him because I like to keep my distance from high profile people and
Okay.
I just like to make myself um kind of a like not unavailable. I would say like more like them, you know what I mean, because I look up to that person. So I don't want to just be all fanboying him, but
Mhm.
which I can stay over there and talk to him as much as I want, you know but if you look at some of the things that we do, I just I'm a one liner with him, and then I
Mhm.
let him see what I'm doing for the sport, and hopefully one day he'll respect me about it, and I'm not just an average Joe that's coming in trying to do the sport. um I've been doing this, man, and I just want I want my piece of cake too. So as soon as we can sit on the same table and eat the same cake, obviously I want that relationship with him. But right now it's a business transaction.
Right.
So I'm just trying to do business, man. I'm just trying to work some numbers, and a lot of people that are coming in, man, they're not trying to work them numbers. They just want to be on. They just want to be a part,
Mhm.
and they are cutting themselves short. So
Right.
right now, it's just purely a transaction of business, and I wish it was something else better than that. But
Well, I mean,
one day,
hey, he's the boss, and not many people like the boss. It's just the way it is. When you're the boss, everyone's
I
gonna
love the
everyone's
boss, though. I love the boss.
well, but I mean, like, look, he says it too. Everybody wants more money, and we get that. I own my own business, so I know. But as long as he's fair to you and treats you well, I think that's important. And you could have a relationship with him that he can call you and you can call him. I think he's available to you like that. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely. I just for me, I never felt like because I'm the black sheep of the sport, man. I'm asking for more money. I'm getting sponsorships that no one else is getting. I'm
Right.
talking out loud about this change in the sport. If the sport is growing, which it is, man, we should all be getting paid a lot more. So
Right.
I think right now I'm leading that charge of the outlaws in the sport. But I'll gladly be that guy, man. I'll gladly put my best foot forward to apologize later about it. You know.
Now, well, my last question before I get into a video I want to show you is this: the Hawaiian Hitman. Is there ever a shot when you move down to the heavyweight division? It would be the first, I think, ever. Would the Hawaiian Hitman ever go toe to toe with the Crazy Hawaiian?
Man, me and him talked about it, and we do want to do it one day. But
You do want to do it?
We do want to do it one day, but
Okay.
But we are not gonna do it for we're not gonna do it for 5 times the amount of money we're getting paid now. So so we're not gonna sign that contract to go up against each other unless it's something that is a life-changing number. Because
Okay.
it is something that people want to see.
That would be absolutely massive if that happened. Massive. I don't think that's ever happened in any combat sport. That was
No, they're not that dumb though. I don't think they're that dumb because they might lose a bunch of money. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows
who might lose a bunch of money?
I don't know. Vegas.
Okay, well, no, no. But I'm saying if you have two brothers as prominent as you guys are in this division, that would be like when the Klitschko brothers would go. That would never have happened. But they did. They said they were not going to happen. Not going to. The potential's out there. You haven't closed the door on it.
Yeah.
If that ever came together, I can assure you that would be a multi-million-dollar slap fight. I guarantee that. I'm not going to put the money up, but I can guarantee you. You know, Dana White's got way more money than that. He'd pony up for something like that. And if that door's open, don't be surprised if someone comes knocking to see that down the road.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm ready for it, man. I really am. It's just something that is gonna see. I know it, like exactly what you just said. I truly believe that it's one of my biggest money fights, and I'll be down to do it one day with him because we have that type of relationship. We do slap each other around and laugh about it, and I do want to document it. You know, that not a lot of people are around me and my brother when it's just us. They did come out with a little teaser with just me and him vibing out recently. It's the Bash Bros, Hawaiian Bash. They're calling us the Hawaiian Bash Bros, and I dig it. I dig it right now.
Well, see, that's good. And you know what's funny? You say that, but undoubtedly, it wouldn't just be slap fighting. That would be a mainstream media pickup. Like I could see Good Morning America or ESPN picking up something like this in the mainstream because it's never been done before. You guys would be the first in a full contact sport. People in football have played against each other. Baseball, that's it. You're talking physically smacking your brother. You know, it's now when we're actually taking video camera into your lives growing up as kids when you guys would fight all the time. Now this is for all the marbles right here. I think it's a fight that has to happen. But before you go, I'm gonna play a video for you of a fight that I saw with you, a slap fight. The slap that you hit this guy with is one of the hardest I've ever seen. And after it's over, what were you feeling when you got this guy? You ready?
Okay, let me see it. Let me see it, bro.
It's this one right here. I'm gonna play it.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there real quick.
Okay.
That's my brother.
Oh, you shitting me? Why is it saying
crazy? That's my brother. Let's watch it, though. Let's watch it.
This is one of the hardest slaps.
Hustler, you have to connect with the palm of
1, 2.
Let's see.
Okay. Now. Okay. So that's your brother, right?
That's a little bro.
That's your little brother. Now, in context, you're bigger than him that impact, I mean, does that worry? I mean, to me, if my brother hit me like that, I mean, I'd have to get a dentist because my teeth would be flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Does that doesn't worry you at all?
No, it actually kind of makes me proud, man, that you know, my bloodline is that strong. You know, me and my brother come off the couch and we laugh about it. We really do. We laugh about it and we smoke some weed and we just chilling with each other and we're telling each other like, bro, we're just making these guys look fucking stupid because we're coming off the couch, bro. And we barely do anything special. But I was telling my brother, I said, bro, but we do have to. We're at the top of the game right now. We have to lead the charge. And we can't do it if we're weak, you know what I mean? So we're getting into it, man. We're getting to the drawing board. We're starting from scratch.
Yeah. And that was not my producer's fault. That was my fault. I told him to bring up the hardest slap he saw. So I assumed it was going to be yours. That was my fault. That was not the producer. So I take the blame on that one. So I thought he was going to put you in there.
No, you good. It's actually a ongoing joke with me and my brother because we do play each other like when we're away from each other. Like obviously, you know what I mean. We look the same. We have the same tattoos. Probably the only thing that is different is the length of our beards, but it's an ongoing joke because even Power Slap gets it wrong. Did you know
They
that?
may have. That's crazy because he was my guy was looking and looking and looking and said, "Here it is." And I sent you those pictures, and you're like, that's my brother, bro." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, he just sent me this." So it is confusing, man. It is confusing, but
yeah,
I mean,
it is.
Two that look that way, two on top of the game. It's got to happen at some point. The Crazy
There's four
Hawaiian.
of us that look that way.
Four? Are you kidding me?
Four of us that look that way. Same tattoos and everything, brother. My younger brother, he's actually the Hawaii champion of slapping right now.
Where does he live?
He lives on Oahu. He still lives in Hawaii.
Okay.
And he's the current reigning champion of Hawaiian slap fighting right now. It's a family thing, brother.
This is crazy. It's like the WWE with the Samoans. This is nuts. It's like it's actually. I mean, seriously. You know, you got Roman Reigns, you got The Rock, you got the Crazy Hawaiian, you got the Hawaiian Hitman. This is a big thing for you guys. And
my brother in Hawaii is the humble Hawaiian.
The humble Hawaiian. Wow.
Yeah.
And what's his name? His first name?
Zane. His name is Zane Bierman.
It's funny because when I got the thing, it said there was Dane, there was Lane. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna jack this up. I know I am. But you got Zane, Lane, and Dane. That's crazy. That's
you got
crazy.
one more though.
And who's that? Shane. Oh God, you guys are gonna kill me with these names. They're so close.
I told my dad, I said, you should have got one more and just named him Stain. So when you call him, come Stain.
Oh shit! Hold on, man. I don't know if okay. On that note, Lane, the Crazy Hawaiian, Lane Mertz. You know, it's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to. You know, my wife, when she told me you're gonna have a good time with this guy, I was like, okay. You know, he seemed like a big dude, and you're outspoken on camera, but you were one of the most humble, soft-spoken, big-hearted guys I've ever had the pleasure of interviewing. You absolutely, and my wife was 100% right. She told me that Hawaiians are just that kind with a big heart. Now you don't want to mess with them, but they got a big heart, and their family's very, very clingy. Like his being Hispanic, we're very clingy. As evidence, everyone's in there in the pool having a good time. Mom in the kitchen cooking. I absolutely love that. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you on my show.
All right, Judge. This won't be the last.
No, and one other thing, if you can, give out your social media so people can follow you.
Right here, DA_crazy _Hawaiian. The Crazy Hawaiian. And on everywhere it's trademarked. If there's any other the Crazy Hawaiians, he might have to slap me for the name.
Well, I don't know if it'll be as popular as you slapping him. I can tell you that. The Crazy Hawaiian, it is absolutely an honor. Thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to be there for your next slap fight. Let us know when it is so we can cover it.
Much love, brother. Aloha.
Much love to you also. Thank you. Shaka, right?
Shaka, brother. Yes, sir.
The kind.
The kind. Hey,
yes.
We're going to be doing the kind right now. Well, much love, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.